Hello everybody, welcome to today's planning for our descent into Avernus, the Blood War. Oh, so many things happening at the moment. As those of you who were here last week saw, absolutely nothing that I had planned took place. The great undercaverns, the battles, all those kinds of things, nothing happened. Our players decided, or their characters decided, to follow the law of the orders given in the order in which they were given. I find it will be interesting to see if that continues to be the case moving forward. If not, then there we go, we'll see. So today, this last week as a matter of fact, I've been trying to think what exactly is going to happen and what is going to be part of the drive for today's episode. So you can ask questions. Go ahead, please ask questions. As our wonderful moderator TK has joined the fray, has indicated, please put the word question in front so that I can see those questions clearly and easily. It is a good 3:30 a.m. here in Tokyo, which is where the show is broadcast from. So yes, the interesting things have been happening. If you don't know about the voting for the demons or devils forces, go and have a look. I see that there is an attempt to reinforce from Grizzles, but it did not appear to take effect. You can only reinforce once a week. Thereafter, you are locked into your choice. But I'm going to be speaking to the web goblin about that. I think people might need to be able to change sides as we move forward. Let's just go and have a look and see what's going to be happening there, because today's show is all about expressing that. So I've got the map here. There you can see it behind me laid out. Now there's some things that show on the stream and there's some things that don't. And I still don't yet know why. So I will figure that out in due course. But the demons are currently at 103 votes and the devils are currently 159 votes. So there's a large force of devils wandering around. Interestingly enough, the demons have -2 influence whilst 6 power. The devils have 11 influence but only 3 power. Now what does that mean? Well, we're going to find out what that means today. And something of a surprise, which happened quite literally overnight, was this: Bleakbore being taken over by the demons by 1. Now, what's interesting is that's where our characters are heading. That's where our characters are heading. So this is the map of Avernus. We are uploading it to the World Anvil website, where all of these regions are laid out and explained in full if you don't know what these regions are. This is a map made by Kaora, the wonderful cartographer and player of Thorn, and we redesigned it specifically for the show. This is not the map that you get when you pick up the book Descent into Avernus. The reason why we redesigned it was because this is A, before the book is set, and B, we were looking at various aspects of what makes Avernus Avernus and tweaking it a little bit. These regions, by the way, Pharos, Carcass, Golgur, Flass, Brightbone, etc., those are also regions that I made up specifically for the show, so they don't appear in any official literature, so bear that in mind. So what has happened now? Our characters, if you haven't worked it out, our characters started on the cliffside of Avernus, which is the capital and home of Bel, the archdevil of Avernus at the moment. And their goal is to head to the salt plains, the salt from the tears of sinners who are stuck in hell or in Avernus for all eternity have caused this area to become a salt plain of Bleakbore. Now, Bleakbore contains the fort that the characters are heading to, and it's going to be interesting now that it's taken over by demons. So what exactly does this influence and power relate to? Well, in terms of influence, one does not run an entire demi-plane, alternate plane of existence, does not run Avernus with just devils alone. There is a vast amount of infrastructure that has to go into things. Armor for the devil hordes needs to be made somewhere. Weapons needs to be made somewhere. There needs to be legions of devils researching new ways of destroying demons, etc., etc., etc. All of that translates down into a vast population of perhaps evil spirits, but not necessarily the damned, that need to inhabit Avernus to make this happen. So influence is about how many of those things can be rallied and pulled together to help in the fight. Power, on the other hand, is what kind of power can be manifested in any one region at any one time. And what you're going to see is next week, once this has been locked into, or at least at the end of today's show, I should imagine, there's going to be a display of power and of influence so that everyone gets a feel for what's going on. So the next time they sort of look at Drasu, which is one influence and one power, there might be some more interest in that direction. But again, these things shift and change. That's the nature of Avernus. So whilst the demons have got a pretty good foothold here with Graven and Bleakbore, the devils are definitely controlling all of the important bits, or are they? We'll find out as we move forward. Okay, let's go to some questions now, if there are any questions. Let me just pop over here. Now I'm going to scroll up so that I can see if there are questions. Yes, there is one. AK Writer says, as far as I understood before this campaign started, you play Descent into Avernus after dying. So what happens with a character who dies in Avernus? Okay, so let me clarify that very quickly. Descent into Avernus itself does not require the characters to die. The book, this is a spoiler if you haven't yet started reading the book or if you're going to start playing in the book has a mechanic for which, or by which, the player characters, very much alive, arrive in Avernus. Any characters that die in Avernus are inextricably bound to Avernus. They become souls that then are trapped there. Now, the Descent into Avernus book itself doesn't go into a huge amount of detail as to what happens to those souls, other than they join the forces of the devils and are at their mercy. There is some vagaries in terms of individuals can try and reclaim their souls and escape, but generally that's the case. Any devil or demon, well, any devil, I should say, who dies in Avernus, their soul power is absorbed and lost to the ether for all eternity, and there is no resurrection, there is no coming back from that. So that's an interesting outcome for the devils. Death is permanent in Avernus. If a devil dies in any other plane, they reconstitute in Avernus. The demons reconstitute in the abyss automatically when they die in Avernus and then can be resent back to Avernus. It's one of the major problems that I have with these kinds of lore loops where the devils are fighting a losing battle. And as far as I'm concerned, if this battle has been going on for quite some time, the devils should have figured out a way by now in which to start attacking the abyss. It makes sense to be on the offensive in this case. If a devil dies in the abyss, they reconstitute back in Avernus. They don't cease to exist. But as that they're on the back foot here in Avernus, when they die, they die. Their forces are literally getting smaller and smaller and smaller. They're relying on the prime material plane and on souls to be corrupt to then join them. So it's an unsustainable situation, let's put it that way. So we're going to have to, they will have to resolve that one, or you will have to resolve that one as you play it in your game. Let's see. Any other questions? I Shan't says, in usual games, we don't, ever, talk about going to the toilet. A few reasons why people in the medieval times travel a lot, so I guess they know how to go, but how do you go to the toilet in hell? We don't talk about that very often. It's a biological function that we have quietly tried to hide away. And if you're in nature, it's one of the funniest things when you go into a safari world, or like me and you live in Africa, defecation is just part of the process, and most animals don't give a damn about it. It's only us who've added on all kinds of weird and wonderful rituals to the whole thing. When on campaign, this is something that is of interest. Armies, part of the first thing that they need to do is to set up the ablution facilities, specifically because it causes vast amounts of disease. and it can cause a vast amount of disease. Where these ablution facilities are set up are absolutely critical. They have to be set up so that they are nowhere anywhere near water sources, and if they are, they're downstream from the camp itself. There is quite a large amount of logistics involved in the daily ablutions of human beings, but again, it's very seldom spoke about. It's definitely not something that we hear the Roman legions having to worry about, taking a potty break every 2 hours, but it is certainly a factor and is something that has to be taken into account. So when you look at hell, well, there is that old joke, it's eternal damnation without relief, as Rowan Atkinson so eloquently put it once. Is that the case here? Well, we don't often talk about ablutions because it's one of those things that you don't have to worry about, generally speaking. If it is something that you want to do, then I would go ahead and make sure that your party is happy with a certain amount of scatological humour, in which case then you can go the route of the name's just gone straight out of my head, of Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Was it that one? Or was it the one beforehand? Anyway, where you then have, demons made entirely out of fecal matter, for example. So you can go that route, without a doubt, if you want to. Just make sure that your players and your party are happy with that. A lot of people are not happy with that kind of content, so you have to be very, very careful about that. It's a good question, especially for hell, because I think hell is somewhere where those things can become quite dangerous and quite important for it. It does raise interesting ecological issues when you look at what we do with the fecal matter of other animals. Dogs, for example, it's used in tanning. Bats, it's used in all kinds of alchemical substances and things, as guano. So yes, it's an interesting question, one that you need to make sure your party is happy to answer. Hertzu says, will you keep playing this campaign after the sponsored amount of streams finishes? One of my favourite campaigns so far. Hertzu, thank you so much for the support of the campaign. We are commissioned to run 12 episodes, and after 12 episodes, either, I suppose, we will have a third season if we were so lucky, or Dungeons & Dragons will bring on another team for you to join and follow their antics and chaos and craziness. So bear that in mind. If people are particularly having fun with it, they might renew us for a third season, and we might stay in Avernus. Who knows? This is a commission show, so we blow where the winds of the masters say we blow. The Great Dragon Incarnate says, last week I asked you about letting them keep Peppermint. How satisfied were you by how the things played out? I was going to get rid of Peppermint, as you know. Peppermint was going to pose a problem. I didn't anticipate the way in which Peppermint was going to be leaving them. I think it was a good call on behalf of Michael to get Peppermint out of there. Trying to get the dog to climb down the side of a cliff is definitely going to be a problem, without a shadow of a doubt. There is always a logistic challenge, I should say, that comes in to having these kinds of things. When characters have got pets and familiars, familiars are one thing because there's a magical component to them, and I think Dungeons & Dragons made an excellent call in terms of them not having necessarily a fixed lifespan, but they can appear and disappear at will. It does solve that problem. Once you start getting full-time companions and things, it becomes a major issue, and it's something that I've always had a problem with in terms of, even from 2nd edition, where characters that are horse-based, so the Cavalier or the Charger, it depends on what name or iteration, but when you have a character who has horse-based combat, unless the entire party is in the same situation, there is always going to be that challenge of what do you do with the pets, with these creatures that don't have the same capacity as the characters themselves. So I was quite happy with the way that Peppermint was dismissed. It made sense, and certainly I think now it gives me an opportunity to bring Peppermint back, so we can do that wonderful Velociraptor trick that they did. Next question. Dogma. Thank you, Dogma. Ixelbor, the Mechanical Jack, says, normally when the DM... Oh, wait, sorry. No. Okay, right, another question. So, some time ago, I've seen a video of yours about what to do with people who roll poorly. Have you ever thought of rolling 4d6 minus 4? That way you still get 0 to 20 results, but like in Fate, they are much more often somewhere in the middle, and if the player still misses too often, you can adjust the minus 4 to minus 3 or less. That's certainly not a bad idea, AK Writer. You know, I don't think anyone in the party is particularly cursed. That is one of the advantages, I think, of having something like Fantasy Grounds or a digital dice roller. It does remove, in theory, the bad luck taint that we can have on dice. So we'll see. But it's not a bad idea. The 46 minus 3, it just starts to get very complicated, though. That's what I would say. I would say it gets complicated. But anyway. Next question is Turf Smurf 1974 says, does the Pit of Golgur in the Azure Sea connect to Golgur in Avernus? It does. It does indeed. Golgur is, or has become, I should say, for my D&D streams, a link between worlds, and none of the player characters have ever gone anywhere near Golgur, except, well, obviously in Ghosts of Saltmarsh. There was that hint that there was a light coming from the bottom of it. Would that connect directly to Avernus, or would it go somewhere else first? I'm not saying anything. Not saying anything on that one. The True Krishka says, had Jorman flex a giant kill me sign on his back by virtue of being a paladin and being able to use radiant powers, which are very dangerous. Oh yes, so we're going to start to get a bit more of a sense of flavor for Avernus in today's show. If we go to the plan, I'm going to use this as a good segue. If we go to the plan, there is the original plan of what we have got to go through in terms of running this mini campaign. Join forces with Zariel. That has now been done. The siege of Brak-Krul-Dach. Brak-Krul-Dach is the name of the cathedral that they were in. That was taken from page 60 of the Avernus book itself in terms of the monsters, the encounter. Number 3 is... let me rephrase that. The siege of Brak-Krul-Dach was supposed to happen. The characters left before it did. They ran off and they started to do their own thing. So that was improvisation. Part number 3, the siege, is not going to happen because obviously they're going somewhere else. They're going straight to Fort Knucklebone, which is beginning of building stuff where they're stealing a war machine. They decided that was a more interesting course of action, so that's the course of action that they've taken. So that's great. I don't have a problem with that. That's lovely. We will get to Fort Knucklebone next week. And Fort Knucklebone is the location of one of these war machines. I particularly liked it in the Descent into Avernus book. You can see it starts on page 80 for those of you that have the book. And there's a lot of things that happen in that got me to thinking how to really determine the difference between influence and power when we were creating the map originally a couple of weeks ago before the show. And it's a good example, I think, of a non-devil, non-demon controlled space that could be influenced one way or another. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is finishing off Siege of Brak-Krul-Dach, I should say. And I think it's going to be interesting because I'm going to introduce the ideas that I was going to introduce in Fort Knucklebone. I'm going to introduce them a little bit earlier. And that idea is, quite frankly, the fact that there are multiple groups of individuals in Avernus, not just devils, not just demons, but entrepreneurs. Because ultimately, someone needs all of this stuff made and supplied, and anyway, there we are. All right. We've got a few minutes before we go to the show. I'm looking for another questions. Oh, sorry, to get back to the idea of Jorman being a paladin in hell. He is definitely going to get earmarked in combat for targeting. On the other hand, something that's very important to bear in mind is that although Avernus is a hierarchical structure, there's an archdevil, an archduke, devil, then there are the dukes of hell, and it sort of folds out from there. They don't necessarily have to communicate with each other. And to be perfectly, to be perfectly honest with you, at the moment, There is this titanic war that's happening, and yes, Zariel has arrived, and a legion of devils has been dispatched to deal with these interlopers, because there would have been a large blip of radiant energy that arrived. But when you compare Jormung's power to Zariel or Haramon's power, there's no comparison. So the focus at the moment will be entirely on Zariel and Haramon and the rest of the angelic host that have arrived down here in Hell, not on their operatives. This is part of Zariel's bigger plan. Whilst she's here, provided that she's not necessarily disrupting devil operations or demon operations, she should, as far as she's concerned, pose little threat, or at least little reason for super focus, let's put it that way, on behalf of either of the two great powers that are busy battling. As Jormund starts to influence the war, presumably, possibly, maybe, I don't know, then yes, the target will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I think that we're going to meet some interesting characters whom are going to reveal that in today's show. Devils are able to be everywhere and anywhere, but this battle is all-consuming. It really is a battle for Avernus. And so, again, it comes back to the fact that you are a devil. You are the lowest rung devil. You're an imp. You can barely manifest powers. You are weak. Your best bet is to serve loyally and faithfully, doing whatever it is that your master asks you to do, until you can prove yourself of value, and then they might give you more power, and then you grow into a larger devil, and you slowly evolve over time, accruing more and more power. This does not make for a good labor force. It does not make for good rogue elements. Why would you, in a system where if you don't follow the rules, if you don't kowtow to a superior, you won't advance, you won't increase. Literally, in this case, it's you won't evolve. So how do we do that? How do we manifest that? So they're going to meet a whole bunch of interesting characters today. It's going to be very role play. I don't think it's going to be combat heavy. You never know with this party, however. They are heavily wounded, so they're going to have to take that into account. But yes, we're going to meet some interesting things. Next question. Kiwi the Bird, it is indeed, says, do you think you could be a good GM without being able to give detailed descriptions and emphasis, running a game in a language that is not their native? I think that a good GM is someone who provides entertainment. And if your party is entertained by what you're doing, then you're a great GM. I think if it is not in your native language, I mean, I know, for example, if I were to try and run Dungeons and Dragons in any of the other languages that I speak, I would be very frustrated. I would be more frustrated, I think, than my players would, because I wouldn't be able to express myself the way that I would want to. I would suggest then that you look at something like a VTT, where you've got battle maps. I would have lots of photographic references so that you can say, you see this, you see that, so that the pictures give your descriptions for you rather than anything else. AK Writer says, have you ever read Johannes Cable, The Necromancer? I love the way hell, devils, etc. are depicted. I have not. I will add it to the list. The Great Dragon Incarnate says, how did the devils find out about their meeting? It sounded as if the angels were surprised. I can tell you this because this is a spoiler channel, or spoiler episode, I should say. Zariel in Descent into Avernus uses a trick to get, or not a trick, I mean, it's part of her powers. The whole thing behind Descent into Avernus is the city of Elytriel being sucked into Avernus itself because of a certain spell that was used. This is the first time that Zariel has used this spell to suck this cathedral down into Avernus. Unfortunately, she doesn't know where to land. It just happens to manifest somewhere on the plane. Think of it as opening a giant dimension door underneath a cathedral, and then the cathedral appears wherever it may. She did not anticipate it for it to appear on the cliffside of Archvanus, the capital of the archdevil Bell. That's why there was a legion that was able to respond so quickly and surprise them. There's a reason why I did not show the map of Avernus for the first episode. Nobody knew where they were. and as a result, they could be surprised. Now, we've only got a minute left, and I see there are some more questions. Do demons coordinate strikes since they're so chaotic? I shall not, or I shan't, I'm not sure. So the biggest question here is, do demons coordinate strikes since they are chaotic? They are part of the same entity. That's something to bear in mind. Grizzles, I'm going to have to come back to your question because it is time for us to descend into Avernus. I pressed the button now. Welcome to Avernus. I did this huge intro and I'd forgotten to press the button. I apologize for that black screen. I thought I'd pressed it.
Oh no.
Press the button, Kronk. Or pull the lever, I should say.
Not that lever. Wrong lever.
Anyway, thank you all for being here, for joining us today on this very interesting battle-strewn warfield, I suppose one could say, because I used the word battle already. I hate it when you do that. You flummox yourself by using the wrong words. Anyway, we've got our wonderful cast of characters here. We have I have to say, you are looking particularly ravishing tonight. Michael, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much, darling. No, I'm super excited for today. My name's Michael, if you don't know who I am also known as the Dead Aussie Gamer, and I will be looking forward to playing your Menefax Galondir, my Dragonborn anti-paladin. I am Peppermintless. I have let my beloved companion return to the wilds from whence he came. I'm still a little bit emotional about it, so don't bring it up too often. That's the last time I'm going to speak of it. Go to the next person, guy.
Next person. Go to the next person. All right. I will indeed go to the next person. Looking particularly half orc, half tiefling. I was doing the maths on that one. It's an interesting combination depending on where you go. Myri, how are you doing? And how is Nazaya doing on an interesting journey so far?
I think Nazaya's bleeding a bit after trying to headbutt a devil several times. Otherwise, I guess she's fine. As fine as you can be in hell. I'm fine too. I'm coming directly from a lab where I played a necromancer, which is why. This is my necromancer outfit. If the horns are too distracting, I can
I think it's wonderful. Jenny, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing fine. I'm perfectly fine. X-Tech's not fine. X-Tech's unconscious, but, not dead, so that's cool.
There is that.
Yeah, X-Tech's pretty hard to kill, I think. But, which is, the point of being a warlock generally, is that you don't want to die, and you are willing to give up a lot of stuff in order to not die. So, hopefully I'll continue to not die today.
Let's hope. Thorn, you don't look like you believe her. Kaora, how are you doing? Oh yes, you're doing goat today.
I'm not going to do that. So yeah, Thorn is currently a giant goat, which is nice. Yeah, I think in terms of role playing for today, unless the goat dies in any way, I think just a lot of goat noises from me this session. So stay tuned for that, everyone. Other than that, yeah, I'm good.
Dear Wizards of the Coast, please sponsor us for a third season, even though we have Kaora and his goat.
Look, Guy, there's no need to be sheepish about it. It's just fun.
Oh my god.
No.
And Janet. We have Janet too.
Right.
So,
This is really getting my goat right now.
dear. All right, well.
Don't be so a hoof about it all. You like puns too.
Look, this
Getting
pun
them all
thing
out.
is all about bleeding a dead horse.
Oh my goodness! You see, this is why TPKs happen. Janet, how are you doing?
We're in hell, guys.
Yes.
Forget criminals. We
We
got
haven't
the
even
biggest puns.
started yet.
Oh dear. How are you doing, Janet?
I am good. I am completely psyched to go. I cannot wait. I'm riding a goat down a mountain. I, of course, being Mademoiselle La Rouge, the tiefling assassin. And otherwise, I am Janet from World Anvil, and you can find me on worldanvil.com, where you can build your worlds. Yes,
There we go.
these
There we
things.
Absolutely. One of the sponsors, I should mention, is definitely World Anvil. You can find the characters and you can find the world of Avernus as envisaged for this particular stream, which is a deviation from that which you will find in the book. It is inspired by the book and takes place before the book Descent into Avernus, if you so bear that in mind. Now, before we go much further on, World Anvil is one of our sponsors. I beg your pardon. Dungeon Fog is another one of our sponsors, and you will see their maps used throughout the game today and for every episode, for that matter. Beautiful maps. Go and have a look at them. That's dungeonfog.com. Fantasy Grounds is our virtual tabletop of choice. We play everything on Fantasy Grounds. There's their logo directly below me now. And they provide us with dice, with note-taking, with character sheets, with all the stats and NPCs and pinnable maps and all those kinds of wonderful things that you would expect from a jolly good virtual tabletop. And then my jacket is sponsored by the Leather Lair, which I have to say I'm quite happy with. We'll get jackets for everyone next season, he said optimistically. Anyway, those are our sponsors. Now, something that's going to be taking place in today's game, my players do not yet know this, or maybe they do, I don't know, is the map. Now, the blood war that rages across Avernus between devils and demons is heating up, and now is definitely going to start influencing the game in ways and means that we cannot possibly foresee. If you don't know what I'm talking about, head on over to www.greatgamemaster.com and look for this map. When you find this map, you can go and vote. Now, the map was beautifully drawn for us by Kaora and contains all kinds of wonderful regions that you can go and vote for. You can choose a region. Let's go to Drasu, for example, and then you can choose whether to reinforce the devils or the demons. And so far, I have to say, there are 103 demons running around and 159 devils. However, the devils have more influence than the demons. They have 11 influence versus the -2 influence of the demons. But the demons have double the amount of power that the devils have. How will that manifest? Well, we're going to find out in today's game, hopefully, as we continue our descent into Avernus. So cast your minds back to the last moments just before we ended last week's session. Our intrepid heroes, having abandoned the cathedral to the forces of light and the devil legion down below, have made a hasty escape down the only pathway leading down the side of this large volcanic mountain, and had to go mountaineering in order to completely avoid running into the devils waiting down below. The climb was arduous, it was difficult, it was treacherous, it was almost failed, but in the end, tired, broken, sore, and unconscious, our party has found themselves at the base of the volcano, blissfully masked from the devil legion by a large spur of rock. This is where you find yourselves. Oh yes, May was riding the goat down.
Yes, she was.
This is where the five of you find yourselves. You are at the base of this large mountain, and you can no longer see the devils, but every now and again you do hear either applause, laughter, or the terrific impact of one of those large fire trebuchets landing a blow against the protected cathedral.
Yormund, who is carrying Ishtek, places them in front and it examines the quite severe wounds that his warlock companion has undergone in the battle against the barbed devils. He rubs his hands together and begins to have this energy glow from his palms, and I will cast Cure Wounds to try and bring them back to consciousness.
On. Big money, no whammies.
That is a...
More HP.
that is 5 plus my casting stat, which is a little bit higher than that. So that is 5, 6, 7, 8 hit points.
8 hit points back, putting
Nice.
you on 19 wounds. Ixtec, your eyes flutter open.
And sort of grips at his collar, sort of up and ready to murder someone immediately, and then sort of stares at him and then focuses on him, and then let's go.
Yorman sort of furrows his eyebrow a little bit.
Sorry. What happened?
It appears as though you took a little nap while we climbed to the side of the mountain. Nothing
Nap?
to concern yourself with.
The last thing I remember was a bunch of massive rocks coming down towards us. Where are
Well,
we?
it seems that for the time being we are safe here. At least enough to get our bearings. I'm glad that we did not stay in that accursed citadel with those winged people. Needless to say, it seems as though they're going to be in far more trouble than we.
Can we see
Mademoiselle.
this dome from here?
I kind of the goat's head kind of just slowly pokes out of the rock, looks at the demons, and then slowly comes back.
Can we see the dome from here? Or
No,
is
it is now quite high above you and around the curvature of this particular volcanic structure. Yes.
Mademoiselle Rouge sort of yawns and opens her eyes and goes, "Where have we stopped?" Oh, we are here. Nice.
I'm
Very
gonna like buck a little bit and just like bounce her off.
There's definitely some bucking going on. Nazaya, what are you doing?
Desire is trying to get her bearings, and then she turns around to the rest of the group. Does anyone know which way the machine would be?
As you look around,
do we?
yeah, there's the giant volcano to your left and aft, basically. Oh, sorry, wrong game. To your left and behind you. And in front of you to the north is... Oh, it looks like black clouds obscuring most of the terrain. To the northeast is where that white, bright light sits on the horizon, almost vaporous in its consistency. And to your direct east, it looks like a wide open plain of red broken rock. Other than that, that's all you know.
Which direction was it that the angel pointed
Northeast
to
towards the white sort of stripe on the horizon.
Well, that is not a very accurate description of where we have to go. How far? What we can expect on the way?
Well,
We don't have a map, right?
May I point out that when the angel says go into the light, I do not think that is always a good idea.
Listen, at this time we are trying to find ourselves one of those infernal machines that traverse
As
this
we've
landscape.
been ordered.
Yes.
Oui, c'est vrai, oui.
And we would probably be best to move away from here, so at least if we search for one, we're not in the presence of such an army of devils. I suggest that we make our way towards this lighted area and see if we can scout a viable target, one preferably ill-manned or unguarded. I do not really wish to face one of these infernal engines head-on with my chains, for example.
Well, no, we find one where someone is sleeping and then we take it. It's simple, no? But let's
Precisely.
go. I think the first task is in fact not to get seen by the big odds of the Oni people. Not that Oni people are bad. I mean, what can I say? Little Oni is nice, but maybe that thing I don't want to get too close to.
Do you want me to scout ahead, May, or does anyone else have better abilities for that?
I think maybe I should go ahead first. I can
Why
hide a
don't
little bit
both
better
of
than
you
most.
go? You can watch each other's backs.
Yeah, she likes when someone watches her backside.
I come out of
Acrobatics.
my giant goat form
Aw.
and sort of coalesce back into Thorn. So if you stay close to me while I have this going on, and he slams his staff again into the earth, and shadows billow out. You're pretty much all going to be hidden, so that could help us sneak past these devils.
It would still be helpful to know exactly where they are, right?
Oh yeah.
Can hear them, no? They're quite loud.
We proceed with caution.
Nazaya shadow steps to someplace roughly 60 feet away where she can get a better look at what's
Alright.
going on. And
You
keeps shadow
shadow
stepping a
step?
little bit around to get the lay of the land.
Not a problem. As you
I
move
think
forward,
May's-
I need all of you to please give me Constitution saving throws.
Oh, no.
Oh! Oh!
Sorry.
Sorry, I got very excited there.
Oh, I see. Sorry, yes, I see why you got excited. Sorry, I had it completely
Yes.
covered.
Yay!
Yes,
There we go.
Natural 20 for the Constitution saving throw of Ixtec. Apparently, death has a very restorative quality for you.
Yeah,
in terms
now
of
I'm
that.
back and I'm pissed.
Really good.
Indeed. Jormund,
Yes?
you are aware that this environment is incredibly dry. And it's not just that. Everything just... There's this bizarre coating on your tongue. And when you scrape your tongue through your teeth, there's this sludge which, when you wipe it from your mouth, is black. And your skin is starting to crack up. There's a weight, as if gravity is heavier here than anywhere else. And the atmosphere is depressive. That massive army is depressive. Are you ever going to get out of here? There is so much weighing down upon you that you have now garnered yourself a level of exhaustion.
Ooh. Ow.
Nazaya, as you step out from the shadows, you too begin to feel this, and as you wipe your eye for something appears to be in it, your hand comes away covered in blood, and your vision seems a little bit clouded. Your nose is blocked, so you have to breathe through your mouth, which... Yes, again, your skin is dry and cracked and miserable. It is not a happy place. Wait, sorry. Nazaya, you're okay. You rolled twice.
Yeah,
I was
it
reading
lagged
your
on me
second
again.
one. Okay. So forget all that. You're fine. Your eyes are actually... You're okay. Life's good. Life's good. May, your eyes are bleeding. Life sucks. Yes, life is miserable. Your skin is cracked. Little blisters appear around your wrists, making life uncomfortable. Yes, okay, there we are. And Thorn, this is great. This is good. You might put down roots here.
Yeah, it's great. I like it. Mhm.
How do I feel? How do I feel, Guy? Tell me.
You are absolutely... For
It's
some
better than
unknown
home,
reason,
honestly.
yeah, you're great.
Yeah, I feel good. I feel nice.
I think given the nature of your character, you probably feel appropriate would be the best way to describe
Yes.
it.
It feels like my internal temperature finally matches the external,
Yeah.
not temperature, but sort of vibe, I guess.
Yeah, something like that. I guess.
Ixtec's like whistling quietly to themselves. They have their book open in one arm, and they have one eye on the road and one eye sort of leafing through it.
There you are. So
Whistling
yes,
quietly
those of you
to
that failed,
themselves.
you've all gained 1 level of exhaustion, which the current level means you have disadvantage on all skill checks. It's a horrid space to be in. I wouldn't recommend it. But, well, too late now. You are moving forward, Nazaya. You see 2 paths, possibly, if you want to head to the northeast. The first is describing more of a parabolic trajectory, a curve north and then towards the east. This appears to be fairly open terrain, but by open terrain this is Avernus, so shattered rock. You can see more of the chains hanging here and there. It does look to be a broken structure of some kind, probably a mile away. You can see bits of tower sticking out of this terrain. So shattered rock, gullies, the like present itself to the north, and you could slowly curve to the east. Why would you do that? Because to the northeast there is this very unusual forest. It looks as if it is comprised entirely out of trees without foliage, but the trees look silver and brown red. It's a strange combination. Every now and again there's a flare of light from somewhere within this horrendous space, and it shines off of these trees. There also appears to be something moving within the trees, or the trees themselves are moving, yet there is no wind that would offer any kind of relief in this horrific place.
Oh. Nazaya shadow steps back directly in front of Thorn, or is clear to the nearest shadow.
Oh, ho, ho, hey.
Are there devil trees?
Oh, there's loads of different kinds of trees. There's an oak tree, a fir, a birch.
No, evil ones.
What?
Yes. And I know how to spot a large from miles away.
What did you see? You see trees?
Trees, yes. And they look both dead and 2 alive, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah. Semi-dead. Mm-hmm.
We should probably go around those, or do you want to go there?
Oh, no, I'd like to go talk to them. That sounds great, yeah.
Oh, fine.
I am not sure that is the best idea.
Oh, no, it's fine. I'm friends with loads of different kinds of trees. I'm sure these kinds of trees are great.
I'm not so sure.
Which direction do you head in?
Well, in one way or another, we require some information, and if, of course, Master Thorn can speak with these devil trees, even gaining any insight from the locals is a worthwhile endeavor.
Then follow me.
I think it'd be easier to talk to a tree than it would be to a devil, you know?
I agree.
Maybe you can see that, and maybe we can take a little nap or something, because I'm not feeling so good.
Yes,
yeah.
well, try wearing this armor.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I suspect this might happen. This place is not very good for the living, so to speak. It'll drain you quite badly.
I
Also,
feel
don't
fine.
we probably yes, well, it luck affects different people differently, I suppose.
Thorn pokes his little fiery, embery parts.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Well, more importantly, it's not as though we came down here with ample supplies of food and water either. I doubt that the damned that live here carry ready stocks of it, so we do need to keep our eyes open for survival as well.
May be able to do something about the food and water down here. I'm not sure yet. We'll see.
Otherwise, if there are trees, there might be water, and that would be quite welcome right now. I mean, don't get me wrong,
Sure.
red is my favorite color, but when it's coming from my eyes, I'm not such a fan, you know?
You're bleeding from the eyes. I haven't seen that in quite a while. And
Yes. Oh, pardon.
last time it was this poison.
Oh no.
Oui, c'est vrai, hein? Last time, huh? But that was a very bad night.
Yes, for everyone involved.
Oui, c'est vrai, but Buff, there's nothing we can do about that now. Let's go talk to some trees. Oui?
Yeah.
Lead the way, my tall friend.
What I was
This way, right?
before we
Yeah.
go, what I was looking for in the book was sort of information on this region or Avernus and its sort of denizens and terrible features, and also any new text in the book as well.
You start looking for denizens of Avernus and realize that there are quite literally thousands of entries. You can give me an investigation check, if you please.
Yes, I can.
Because why wouldn't you want to live here, right?
I don't know. Well, it's alright.
The trees of Avernus come in multiple forms and shapes. There are some known as the Ironwood Trees. The name is inaccurate. It implies that the trees are made out of wood. They're not. They are made out of iron. Iron tempered by souls. The trees are, to a large degree, a bizarre ecological formation of iron growth which absorb the souls of anyone who happens to pass by or get snagged upon their sharp barbed points. These are only slightly worse, or better, depending on your perspective, than the bone barbs, which is a type of bracken and bramble, which has a propensity to roam the plains of Avernus in search of a good place to root, which is generally in the corpse of its victim, where it slowly absorbs the victim over time. There are several other types of trees listed. Most of them are in the similar idea of these will quite literally suck the soul from anything that they come across. Very few trees, or any kind of foliage for that matter, seems to do the normal thing of just growing in the sunlight, probably because there isn't any. As far as you can see, the worst type of tree or plant is, well, it has the rather horrid name of a blood-me-not. And a blood-me-not is a rather insidious weed that grows along the banks of the River Styx. The reason why it's insidious is because it grows under the surface of the ground, and when you step upon ground which contains blood-me-not, it usually bursts, releasing vast amounts of fetid Styx River water, which is usually blood in consistency, flavor, and color, upon whoever stepped into the region controlled by the blood-me-not. The blood has a wonderful effect of causing an individual to completely forget who they are and want to go bathing in the River Styx, which is of course linked directly to all kinds of weird and wonderful and horrific places, principally the Abyss, where one might journey to become a demon spawn, effectively, is the ultimate goal of that. How does the blood-me-not survive? Well, whilst you're walking towards the River Styx, it slowly basically rips the flesh off of your bones, strips away any kind of arcana or magic that you might have upon your person, until by the time you arrive at the river, you really are just a shade of what you once were.
Those are a lot of terrible words at once. I think that as we sort of wander ahead towards this forest and sees these sort of possibly metallic-looking things, they will sort of stop the group and go, those might be ironwood trees. I don't think we want to go anywhere near those. It could be those, or it could be the bone brushwood, which is possibly worse.
How do you know?
Because there's a lot of information about this place in this book of mine.
Oh, okay. Are they trees?
No.
Still? Or,
No,
Oh.
I don't think so. I think they're more like twisted outgrowths of metal formed by souls being tortured.
So,
And
to be clear, they're not plants.
no.
Oh, okay. We don't want to
You
go
can,
over
however,
there.
see that there are things in amongst these silver trees that do appear to be moving in a wind of some kind, which definitely do not fit the description. They are more red and white in color.
You say
I'm-
that. Oh, my apologies. You say that the Ironwood Trees, they feed off
Yes.
souls?
Souls.
Was it?
Yes, you get close enough and it snags you and it rips the soul from your body, or rips pieces of your soul, since there aren't a lot of bodies down here.
Perhaps the property of these Ironwood Trees might be something we could harness, use as a weapon against these devils if we were to tear off a branch.
I think if you try to tear off a branch, it's going to eat your soul.
I think so too. Yes, I think so too.
I also think we are not in the position to experiment, no? Maybe we just go for the light, like the nice handsome man told us. And then we get the big machine, and then we mango the demons, and then we go home.
All I'm saying
Yeah.
is that if we do go through the forest, we need to stay far away from anything even remotely resembling a tree. That's all I'm saying.
Oui. You see tree, you run away. D'accord.
It's a forest, not by definition made of trees.
Yes, it is.
Then we take the other route. There's a way we can take around it.
Yes.
D'accord.
I'd suggest that.
Very well, we circumvent the forest, which is loosely
I-
called forest.
Heading towards
Then
the
we
ruins
have to
instead.
turn.
The ruins
We have to
instead.
turn left. At
I've
this.
never heard
ravine.
these kind of words before, and I agreed with them. But we are in hell, so I guess we don't go to the forest.
Oh, I suppose.
I
that's
am
the
sorry, huh?
definition.
I know you like it.
Yeah, makes sense though. Yeah, just kill it things.
Maybe we will find a little shrub for you. To be
Oh,
nice.
that-
No. Shrubs are bad. Shrubs are
No,
terribly
no
bad.
shrubs.
No
Okay.
shrubs. No shrubs.
Little
Well-
planties, tiny
No,
flowers.
No.
No.
No. Very bad. Very bad.
D'accord. Okay. I tried, huh? I tried, Mr. Toll. I
Yeah,
did my best.
We'll get out of here
Yep.
soon enough, and then you can have as many trees as you'd like. I'll
D'accord.
buy you that grove, I promise. Whether or
Nope.
not we actually get paid for this.
that would be great.
Don't recall
You
financial
try to cultivate
transactions
my words.
We will be
being
paid.
agreed to, but yes. You continue northwards now, following your guide. Nazaya, do you continue to just shadow bounce, or how do you move forward? Who's in the lead? I assume you were.
Nazaya keeps shadow stepping and climbing and sneaking, the combination of all her skills.
All right. Do you remember the warning that May gave you last week?
No?
Oh no!
Oh,
Give me a wisdom check, if you please.
Yes. Okay.
oh dear.
Can't
It's
Or-
trying
or
to
intelligence, I suppose.
I do my best.
You recall, as you're about to leap onto a large collection of sharp rocks, that
Ah,
May
I
had
remember.
suggested avoiding the chains. And as you're about to leap forward, you notice one of the chains twitch on the rock.
No.
And so you rather choose an alternative path.
Yes.
It feels as if you have been walking for hours and hours and hours, and yet the topography has not changed. That infernal forest of steel remains to the northeast. The tower remains in the distance. It was supposed to only be a mile, and after several hours it should be here. But it is not. It continues to be just over there.
Distance is a malleable thing in this place. So I've read.
Thorn?
So as we're walking, Thorn is going to keep an eye out for any bones and any
Bones?
twigs. Yeah, any bones.
How many would you like?
Just like an armful, like a nice. He's just going to start picking up maybe a rib, a skull, preferably a nice big, scary-looking skull, and just like a femur, some little finger bones, and just start collecting them.
Are you planning on doing some decorating or something?
Oh no! I just want to try something. That's all. Just. Oh, look, a finger.
Oh, très bien.
You go
The
about
broth tastes like
collecting
pork.
bones.
Scapula. That's a good one.
There are bones.
Yep, I'll take that one.
To the point
I start
that
helping him look for bones.
it becomes a journey not so much of looking for bones as for looking for ones that are cleaner or not necessarily buried in the hard rock surface, until you have quite a collection of bones. How many pounds worth of bones do you want to pick up?
Well, I guess it quickly becomes apparent that I'm trying to make a full skeleton out of all of the bones that I'm making. So,
206 then.
Give me a
Yeah.
medicine check.
Does Dryad know how humans work?
Unlike the Victorians, you manage to assemble skeletons fairly well, and so don't end up with bizarre-looking iguanodons. You, in actual fact, have what you think is a skeleton of a vaguely humanoid shape. Unless you're going to stop and lay it all out, it's still tricky. You're not entirely sure you have all of the vertebrae, and you are definitely missing several ribs like Sher, but other than that, you're okay.
sure, no, that's fine. Yep.
You continue to march towards
Yep.
Yes.
Yormund will abruptly stop. He will let loose a very cacophonic roar. And as he does, he yells out at the top of his lungs, "I tire of this ceaseless walking! I am hot. I am thirsty. My mouth is filled with what can only be described as the pustule fluid from this place's very bowels. I'm tired. Where is this place?"
Just please. I offer him my water flask that I had with me in my sort of small pack. Please, just have some water. I brought it with me. Should be safe. Just have a drink. Take a deep breath.
You could
He'll,
chill, huh?
He'll grab hold of the water flask and sort of bite the lid off, and then have a hearty gulp.
It is, without a doubt, of the same flavour as perhaps as might be excreted by an ox in the street. The pungent tang of urine is without doubt what you are currently guzzling.
I will promptly spit it to the floor.
What?
Is this some kind of joke?
What are you talking about?
I'll hand the flask back.
Oh, of course. Yes. No. This will happen. It's just
What?
water.
You handed me your piss flask? I mean,
It's water. This happens here. Have you not heard of the words like the tastes like ashes in your mouth? It's this. I take a drink, sort of tastes horrible, but I know it's water. And then I hand it back. I promise you it's water. It's just going to taste, because this is hell.
I mean, in the grand scheme of things, even if it actually does taste like urine, there's no difference between it being urine and not being urine in this regard. So
No, that's
I'm not going to drink that.
No, that's fine. I perfectly understand that.
Desire poofs back. Why were you screaming? I thought we were trying to sneak.
it's this place, the heat.
The place was
The-
screaming.
No, I'm exhausted. I am tired. I am angry. I am frustrated, and it seems
Are
as
you
though
a
we have been...
child?
Will you take me for a child? We have been walking for hours, and we have made no progress.
Both of you,
Unless
please.
you
This-
feel as though walking and continuing to expend our valuable resources is, of course, not worth taking a moment, then I strongly think we need to reconsider what exactly we're doing out here.
No, let's
Complaining at the moment.
Nasaya,
Yes.
please. This place will get to you. It's not his fault. These aren't normal circumstances.
Well, someone who wants to be in command should be command of himself.
Well, let's have a brief break. We could all use sitting down for a moment, right?
Though perhaps Nazaya might have a point. Perhaps rather than trying to navigate and traverse this horrifying place by ourselves may be the folly that we have laid unto ourselves. Perhaps we should find ourselves someone who we can convince to get us through here more quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I might be able to help with that. Give me a minute.
No, don't move. As you've all been complaining and talking to yourselves, May has just been like, screw this, sits down. She leans against your roots. Just starts to nap.
And
She
start
doesn't
laying
care about you guys and your yapping. She's just tired and bleeding from her eyes.
What kind of skull did I pick up? As I'm laying out all of the skeleton parts in a very ordered, like
Roll a
trying
d8
to
for me.
bleed.
Ooh. Jigsaw, I want to play too.
Yeah, you gotta put no, not there. That's a foot.
Anyone sings
No,
that
it's a
song with
phalange.
fire.
It goes here, huh?
A 2. This is without a doubt an elvish skull.
Okay.
Oh no.
Okay, I don't really want an elven one. I'm gonna see if I can find something with like horns or something like bigger.
All right, give me a perception check, and anyone who's helping Thorn find a better skull, because elves, can give me a perception check. Otherwise, whilst he's doing that, what are the rest of you? May, you're trying to sleep, I assume.
I was trying to sleep and now all this talking, so fine, I help with the jigsaw.
With disadvantage, you get an 18. I like that. You're helping with the jigsaw?
Yeoman's going to cast Divine Sense and just keep a lookout and try and detect any fiends that may be approaching.
Fiends specifically.
Well, I can do Celestials, Fiends, or Undead.
All right, you chose fiends. That's absolutely fine. There are no fiends currently within the radius of your detection.
So I find a skull.
Yes. Well, Mademoiselle Rouge finds a much better one than you had found. Yes, it is. It appears to be a satyr skull. Because it
yeah,
has
I like
these
that one.
curved ram horns on either side.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I like that. So I'm gonna put the satyr skull in the.
His name is Pierre.
Oh, okay. Pierre. Well,
Pierre, oui.
this works for me, and I'm gonna.
Because he's almost a rock, you know. Sleep
Huh?
like one.
I'm gonna cast Animate Dead.
Ooh.
The bones
That's
shake, and this bizarre 6-foot satyr suddenly stands in front of you, gently sort of vibrating as the magic holds the bones together.
Okay, here we go. Look, we got a guide.
Pierre? Does he know where things are in hell?
Well, maybe. I mean, it was my best shot. Hey, Pierre.
The
skeleton.
bones sort of rumble around and look
Oh,
at
he
you.
knows his name. Okay, right. We're looking for, like, this, I don't know, car. I don't really know what that is, but a machine of some kind. Could you take us there?
It stands and looks at you. Or anyone. You're not entirely sure. The eye sockets are empty, so there's that sort of vague, I'm looking in your direction, but not.
Maybe I'm not saying it right. Anyone else got any commands or
Dead,
thoughts on
right?
this?
Think
Yep.
infernal engine might be the word for it.
Oh,
I'm not
infernal
quite sure.
engine. You know anything about that, Pierre?
Was it not an infernal machine?
Oh, or that.
Something like that.
You just start running through all of these. So, what specifically are you asking poor old Pierre?
I'm basically saying, take us somewhere, please.
Take us to the infernal machines
Yes.
Okay.
and carry me because I'm tired.
If it retains any kind of knowledge, which I'm not sure, I'm guessing that's up to your discretion, because it says it basically obeys orders.
Yeah, it does. It does. It does.
that's your call. Maybe it knows something, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it takes us into a pit of boiling acid. I don't know.
It turns very shakily, and you see that it suddenly rises up onto its tiptoes. Perhaps that's because its shape better mimics that of which a satyr's might have originally been.
Ooh.
And then it starts walking forward. Unfortunately, your tibia and femur combinations were different species, so there's a weird sort of limp as it moves forward. But it starts moving forward at 30 foot around, generally in the direction,
Baby steps.
however, of the forest. It seems to be taking a direct path towards the white light.
Mm.
All right,
Wait,
well,
so
so
the
that's
white
where
light
Rufus-
is behind the forest?
Correct.
Yeah, we're trying to sort of go around.
Yeah, maybe give it an order to go around because I don't want to go in there.
Oh yeah, okay. Pierre, we want to go round the forest. Could you not go in there?
It stops.
Okay, he's not so smart. Maybe,
I think-
There, I've seen where his brain was supposed to be.
yeah.
I
I mean,
think perhaps our destination might be within the forest rather than the other side.
well, maybe. He doesn't really talk, so.
I say we examine the forest. We can't avoid all the dangers down here.
All five of
way or
you
another.
see a black arrow land in the dirt near Pierre, a good 15 feet away from him. It doesn't impale itself magnificently in the sand. It sort of bounces rather limply and slides underneath a rock.
Where did it come from?
Wait.
Desire picks it up
It is
and
a
looks
very...
at it. What is it made of?
The tip appears to be coated in some kind of black substance. The rest of it is a fairly badly made long arrow fired from a long bow. Everybody
think
else sort
someone
of
was
looks-
trying to shoot us.
Kind of where it came from. I see Mademoiselle LaRouche, you gave me a investigation check. You are investigating what exactly?
The arrow, I just want to know more about it.
All right, so the two of you are examining the arrow. The only thing that is of particular remarkable nature of it is the flight feathers are not feathers. They appear to be human hair, or hair of some humanoid. The tip is covered in this black ichor, which, as you watch it, as you are holding the arrow, the ichor seems to start slithering towards where your hand is holding the arrow. Moving off
lovely.
of the arrow tip.
Nope.
So, new
You
plan.
flick it
We
away
go
or you
around
throw
the
the arrow?
forest,
What?
and we see where Pierre wants to go next.
Where did the
Because
arrow
that
come
could tell
from?
us, and we go now. Because arrows, no.
Where did it come from?
You're
From the
sort of
trees, I
looking
think.
around towards the ruins that you were heading towards. They're a collection of rocks and things. And you watch as a second black arrow describes a beautiful arc and then lands closer to Pierre, but still misses. This one does embed itself in the ground. And the moment it does, you can see the black ichor splat against the rock. It starts to change shape from a splat into a pool. A little pool.
Can we see anything in the ruins?
Pierre, you gotta try and dodge those next.
All right. Well, we're going into that thing because that's what's happening. So, initiative. Tell us who is going to do what as we bounce into initiative. Ixtec, what are you doing? You've watched two arrows come through.
Can I see anything in the ruins?
It's about 100 feet away.
Right.
Or 5,000 feet away. It's difficult to tell. There's a strange shimmery haze, but you cannot see the thing that fired these arrows.
Yes, I'm gonna take cover behind some kind of rock.
All right. Easy enough. Not a problem.
Yeah.
You take cover behind the rock. Jormund?
Yormund sort of looks towards the ruins and where the arrows have come from. He says, finally a chance to vent some steam. He raises his hands, and as he does, magic begins to envelop his fist as he casts Shield of Faith upon himself, increasing his armor by 2. He then begins a double move towards the ruins and sort of drops the length of chain by his side, clenching it with an angry fist.
Okay. You start doing that.
Going?
Thorn. You watch as Jorman starts charging towards these ruins.
Okay. Hey, Pierre, you might want to stick close to me on this one. Come on.
Starts moving towards you.
Yep. Okay. Where's Iztec in relation to me? Sort of next to me.
Hiding behind a large collection of hopefully not animated rocks.
Yes. I'm not touching the rocks, I'm just sort of keeping it between me and the...
Okay. I guess I follow Jorman then. Just a double move.
All right.
Okay, well, I guess we're doing this then. Let's see who's firing the arrow.
May?
Go to hell, they said. Find redemption, they said. I hate this place.
Apart from cursing
May
you.
sighs. She looks at the tower. She tries to see if she can see what she's going to be fighting, if she can be bothered to go and fight it.
Just a ruined tower. It's not even 2 stories high.
Do I know anything Nah, it's not going to tell me anything anyway. There's all sorts of nonsense in this place.
Oh yes, you're so tired. It's like...
I can't see anything. I don't know anything about this building because you know what? All of a sudden there was an elvish building in this hell. So, I hate this. I draw my rapier and I just start to stomp very slowly towards the tower in this recalcitrant, I do not want to do this kind of way.
You look over and you see Pierre also stomping towards the tower with equal enthusiasm.
I know, my brother. I know.
Desire.
Mon frère Pierre.
Neziah says, May, duck, and
Where?
then speeds behind Jormund, and thanks to the speed buff that monks get, with a double movement, I'm at 90 feet.
You
Nice.
basically...
Just Naruto running towards the building.
You start running forward and you know you can cover significant ground quickly. The wall of the ruin is suddenly in front of you. It feels like you've taken 5 steps. You pass Jormund and the next minute there's wall.
I use my momentum to kind of wall run up and grab something.
I like that. As you get to the top, you can see 3 figures huddled behind the wall, fairly well camouflaged. Their clothing has got bits of rock and dust and whatever else they could find glued or strapped or bolted, or you're not entirely sure. But they're 3 very, very human-looking individuals. One of them has this long black bow and is busy drawing it. The other one is shouting, "Did he just cast what I think he just cast? Oh my god, I think that's a thing. I don't. We shouldn't shoot these things. No, I think you should stop, Var." And the one with the bow's like, "I will shoot this one in the face, and he will die." And he will die horribly, and then we will loot his corpse. And possibly I will sleep with it. But that is what is going to happen, so shut up! That's what you're hearing.
Says, "You're disgusting."
All 3 of them look up at you. There's an early discharge of the bow as the one named Var just lets loose with the arrow into the ground. And it doesn't come anywhere near you. He just looks up and
That's to everyone.
lets go of the knocked arrow. The other 2 look at you. The one at the back who wasn't saying anything, he glares at you. He is holding what looks to be a very solid black rod of metal. And he steps back and he says, "Mark my words, I will fry you, demon. Come no closer."
I'm no demon. Stupid.
Oh, blast! Well, I will then severely incommode you.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
Back to top of the round. Ixtec, you are hiding behind your rock. You are hearing vague mutterings coming from the ruins.
Fine. Ixtec had sort of started before all of this started happening. They had started to take out sort of pen and ink and started to write in the book. And now they just fine, just put everything away. And they just turn out this. They pull out this sort of almost wand-like rod of dark metal with runic inscriptions on it, and they just clutch that and sort of walk around and start heading towards following the others.
All right. Jormund, you arrive thundercloud overhead, perhaps. You can see Nazaya up top the ruin. She appears to be talking to several individuals. You can hear vague mutterings coming from the other side of the wall. There are several gaps through which you might burst if you so needed to.
Oh, burst! I indeed need to. As I put a giant steel paladin boot through the gap to allow me to pass through.
You do indeed. You push through these crumbled old stones and things without any problem. You see the three. They're busy looking up at Nazaya as you burst through. Two of them look at you, and the third one with the black rod points at you and says, Hi.
Did you shoot at me?
There is a very quiet sound of someone dropping a bow. Three of them look at you.
I'll sort of step over with an intimidation kind of aura. I'm just more trying to scare them more than they currently already are. Get them to make sure that they're not going to come up and stab me by the side.
They are suitably impressed by the looks of things, but you can give me your intimidation check with disadvantage.
Yes. GR. 14.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Like I said, the bow's dropped, and the one holding the black staff sort of lowers it down. We can be civil, he says. Thorn?
So Thorn is following Jormund
Yes.
and sort of poking his head round into the gap and taking a little look at this situation, and then the head of Pierre sort of also and then another like head there. What do these people look like?
They look like a collection of people who've been here for quite some time and make a living by scrounging. They're filthy, covered in bits and pieces of detritus. There's one who has very dark, a dark complexion. He's wearing, it looks like a bit of chainmail on his chest. He's got some bronze greaves on. The one who was pointing the staff at the ground, this black rod, his robes, his top is red, his lower sections are a collection of yellows. It just a complete scavenged array. All three of them are human. Okay. And they're looking a little bit terrified at the moment. As you put your head around, the one with the staff says, "Demon, get back! I shall smite you!" And then he sort of looks at Jormund and at Nazaya. You have it under your control?
Well, I'm not really under their control, but nice to meet you. Are you familiar with this area? Because we've got a guide, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. Would you like to show us somewhere?
May, as that question is proposed, you are...
The moment that Nazaya runs past May, May's whole demeanor changes. And all of a sudden, she has her game face on, and she runs towards the tower with the rapier ready. She's ready.
Yes, you managed to gain access. You come around the other side of the point where Jormund burst through, because that's kind of full now with Thorn and Pierre and Jormund. And you can see this collection of individuals. They sort of see you coming around. One goes, wow. Like the eyeliner. The other two don't seem to notice you too much. Wait,
I have enormous horns, but the eyeliner is his takeaway.
Wait, you were saying that you wish for us to be your guides?
Yeah. How long you been in hell? You look like you've been here a while.
Oh, well, that is a great understatement. The one with the chainmail sort of, and obviously the bow drop, because he still has a quiver full of arrows, looks over at the other two. Nazaya, this whole situation seems to be changing.
Nazaya glances at May and German with obviously begging for some sign what she's supposed to do. Like, do I kill them? Do I not?
Yorman will hold a hand up, like just a hold in position, like stay ready to kill them if you need to.
Then she just moves a bit to the side and then drops down in front of May in a protective stance.
Yeah, May puts her arm around Nazaya's waist and says, "What the hell is happening? And I mean that literally."
I have no idea. I think Thorn wants these full-time idiots to guide us.
Why does he look like a feature?
We're out of initiative for now. The one with the staff looks at you lot. You're all alive.
Yep, last time I checked.
Well, Ixtec flirts with death sometimes.
Hey, I resent that. What's going on?
The third head.
What's happening?
Why?
I step inside the ruin instead.
You were making a lot of noise. Is that?
I point at Jormund. Yes, he's frustrated.
I had a moment, okay? We all have them.
You do realize
I have
that
my
we could
moments
quite easily
silently.
have shot at you. It was only once you summoned that creature that we realized you were enemy.
Not with that aim, you couldn't have.
Hey.
I was
Pierre.
having a bad day, okay? It's
No,
been
I
a very long
understand.
time since...
We're also having quite a bad day. How did you end up here? Because as far as I can tell, you're not souls either.
The one that was commenting on May's eyeliner turns to the one with the rod. Yes, Barnack, how did we arrive here? Why don't you tell them? The one with the rod says, we arrived here a while ago by our own choice. It was a choice to come here. That's right, it was a choice. It was a choice, I chose it, and that is why we are here.
Did your choice involve some sort of giant winged individual promising some redemption or what has it?
No. You must be very careful not to entreat anything from the devils. They will quite literally wrap you up in contractual obligations.
I meant the other sort. The upstairs ones.
The attractive ones.
They mean angels. I don't know why no one's saying the word,
Yeah.
Because they don't deserve to be called anything more than what they are. Giant winged douchebags.
Oh, okay.
Everyone takes a good 5-foot step away from Jormund.
Oh, strike me down if I'm wrong! That's what I thought.
Wow. Okay. No. You see, there was a portal. We were in a dungeon. There was it looked interesting. And I may have misread some runes. I don't speak Abyssal much. Didn't know it was abyssal at the time. I thought it was draconic. So yes, there we. So we're here and have been for some time. You do not look as if you are new, or as if you are old, I should say. I mean, you're. Well, I mean, you look
Well,
pretty
thank you.
old. I mean, you definitely don't. But I mean, you.
All right, stop
talking.
talking.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
Okay, so we're looking for a car. Sorry, what was the thing? Name?
Infernal engine.
Machine infernal. Sorry, an infernal machine.
Yeah.
Is
You,
everyone not? Is everyone not looking for infernal machine? Huh? I mean, that would be lovely.
We
Yes.
do not know what it is. Maybe you can tell us.
Don't know where it is. Is what she means.
Yeah, that.
You don't know what it is, but you are looking for one.
Where? She said where. You misheard her.
Oh. The three of them sort of exchange glances with each other. We might know where there is an infernal machine, which you might procure, huh? But what do we get in exchange?
Your heads remaining attached to your spine.
I'd like to see you try, says the third one, who's only sort of been very quiet. You can see he puts his hand on a rather fine-looking longsword.
Look, we don't have to resort to that.
Exactly what that one said over there. Yes, the little girl. Yes.
Little girl.
Okay,
You
little
need
boy.
to speak less, my friend. You need to speak less.
I thought you asked us to tell you where to go.
You, personally, need to speak less.
Yes.
I have a very good idea. So why don't you tell us what it is that you would like? And then maybe we can tell you if we might be able to help you, and you can tell us if you might be able to help us. But I would say, before you bargain too high, that this seems like a place where it is good to have, how do you say, friends. And it is very good to have very good friends. That is just what I think. Huh?
May you know, if you say it like that, they think
A bow discharges accidentally
Friends.
again. Sorry. I was distracted. I'm not talking. The one with the rock. All right. Look,
That was premature.
we don't talk about it. Now, yes, I agree. This is not the right place, though. Unless you are specifically hunting, we're not obviously going to find anything today. Perhaps we should get out of this infernal atmosphere. You do know how to avoid this environment. Eh? Right.
As you
Well,
said,
we'll
good
give this to you
point.
free, as you say. Friends are important, and I agree. I think. My name is Barnack, by the way, Grand Inquisitor Barnack, as a matter of fact. So yes.
Inquisitor.
Well, I was working towards it. I would have got there. There's no reason why I wouldn't have. If I mean, it's semantics, really. All right, let's go. He turns to the growly one. This is Caldaneus. You might have heard of him. The great
Have we?
warrior of Normac, the slayer of what was the name of that little village? Yes, whatever that little village's name was.
You slayed a village.
They were in the control of a cult. Yes, they were destroyed.
Huh.
That is what he says. It is a cult. There's
And the
5 of
third
them.
one, the one with the bow, what's your name?
Oh, I am Var Duranci. Yes, I very good shot. Just not good day.
Of course.
A trapdoor that is quite well hidden by rock and rubble is lifted up by Caldaneus as the three usher you in. Best place to be is not in Avernus, as they say.
Yorman will step forward, and as he does so, he puts his hand outwards. You may call me Yormund,
Right, well, pleasure to meet you.
and we will graciously accept your hospitality as a sign of friendship.
Right, good. Well then, I suggest we get down. He sort of looks around.
I'll climb down.
Weather doesn't seem to be very good today.
I'll follow.
Hey Pierre, you might want to stand over this trapdoor. Not literally, just stand near it. And keep your eyes out, your sockets out. Just stand guard, okay? And I climb down.
Sort of rubbles. Well, look, when you get to the bottom, just don't go anywhere. Right, ladies, or young boy, I'm not sure.
I've climbed down.
Yes, you've climbed down already. Jorman's gone down. Thorn's gone down. May? Muted at the moment. Nazaya?
Nazaya untangles May's arm from around her waist and gently steers her towards the trapdoor.
May?
Have any of them gone down already?
No, the big one, Caldenaeus, is holding the trapdoor open. The one with the rod is pointing down, and the other one is busy collecting up his bow, and he's got a few arrows that he's busy tending to.
I help him collect the arrows.
That is very kind of you. Do not touch the tips, and don't hold the arrows for too long. They are covered in demon ichor.
Is that what it is? Fascinating.
Oh yes, very deadly, very, very deadly. Yes.
I like it. Maybe you can show me how to make them?
Oh, yes, of course. I have a workshop down below. We should get going. You can see in the distance that there are streaks of very violent orange lightning starting to stab down upon those plains that you were going to head through.
Is that weather or no trouble?
Both, I guess. I mean, they're lightning. They're very bad. They strike the lowest soul, if you like. That's one way to describe it.
Ugh, I hate this place. And I climb down the ladder.
All right. Nazaya, you said you climbed down as well after disengaging, is that correct?
No. I step up towards the trapdoor and hold it open, not to the one who was holding it before. I go last.
There are certain things we have to seal. You do not know the proper rituals.
Have you tried to trick us?
Give me an insight check.
I didn't even get to finish my sentence. If you try to trick us...
I'm sorry, I thought you said, can you trick us? As he's holding the trapdoor, he misheard you, and he goes, "No, of course this is not a trick." His body language, though, he's tense. Very, very tense.
Where are the other two positioned?
The one with the arrows is coming up behind you, and the one with the staff is standing, pointing towards the ladder. No, of course it's not a trap. Trick.
Fine. Nazaya would like to sidestep and throw one of them into the trapdoor.
Which
saying,
one?
May, watch out!
You shout, "Watch out!" Okay.
And try to drop a bandit onto her. She knows what to do.
Okay.
How do you want to handle this?
Whom are you attacking?
The one with the staff.
All right, Barnack. Okay, give me an athletics check or acrobatics check as you try to grab this individual.
Let me look which one's better. I'll take acrobatics.
You try and slip your foot around this person. They do indeed completely fail. You are skilled at this. They are not. They did not anticipate this happening. Everybody else went down voluntarily. And so this individual starts to... You trip him. He starts to fall towards the gap. His arms flail out, desperate to try and stop himself from falling down this shaft. And I am rolling in the wrong place, so I need to drop that there. He completely fails to do that.
Ouch. I feel you, man. I feel you.
And there is a wild scream as he starts to plunge past. May, he plunges past you first. Are you going to do anything whilst on this ladder?
So the moment that Naziah said, if you are trying to trick us, and he said, no,
Yes.
was the moment I started to climb back up again.
All right. And
So I don't know how far I've got, because it's not been very long, but I am
hasn't
headed
been.
skywards.
all right, so you're heading upwards. Then a man starts heading downwards towards you.
Okay, I dodge him, because
You just
he's
duck
coming in
down.
hot.
All right, he flails at you wildly to try and catch you. Completely. Why is this not picking up the number now?
I dodge.
What is your armor
uncannily.
class?
My armor class is 15.
15. All right, give me an acrobatics check. You don't
I
have
shall.
disadvantage on this. You are just rolling normally. If you do have disadvantage normally.
That is nice to know.
Oh,
Merde.
It was about to happen. It was going to happen, right? It was
Oh no.
going to happen.
Oh!
You need to give me a strength check, please, May.
Oh no. Oh no.
A 13
Oh,
is not bad. He flails, he grabs your belt and is now hanging from your belt. You are hanging from the ladder. Your strength is okay for now. What is your actual character strength? Yeah,
What are you doing?
You're holding on. He's holding on. He's like, oh my God, why did she throw me down here? Please, 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 please don't let me fall. As he's
Why
holding on to you.
Are you holding on to my very beautiful belt? You will rip it. You horrible man.
Yes, let me just get onto the ladder, perhaps. Ixtec, what are you doing? This man is hanging.
This thorn and there's a man.
Yes.
I'm going to use my ability to detect magic, and I'm gonna look down, realizing that maybe they were a little too quick to trust these people.
Your
They underestimated them.
Your detect magic illuminates a rather powerful illusion is in place.
Like the entire shaft.
Yes, the entire shaft.
Is it a thing that when you know something is an illusion, you can roll to sort of see through it, or is that an older edition?
Older edition.
That's an older edition. All right.
And
I'm
also
going...
this particular illusion is different.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Just checking. I'm going to sort of reach up and tap Thorn's foot and go, I think maybe we should start going back up. This might have been a hasty decision.
oh, okay.
Thorn?
Sure. I start climbing back up.
All right. You
Who's
start.
underneath May? So what's the order on?
You were underneath May, I believe. I think you were.
Oh, can I grab the guy?
Yeah, he's hanging from
Yes.
May's belt. His boots are
Take
just
my
above your head.
Klingon.
Okay. Okay, sorry, friend. I think you're in the way there. I'm gonna rip him off.
What?
My belt comes off as well.
Give me a
The
strength
belt around
check.
my dress.
Give me a strength check. You have to beat his strength. His strength. Oh!
Damn.
May, give me a strength check, please. He does not want to go down.
No.
May,
no.
however, does not have the luxury of resisting gravity or Thorn's mighty tug. There is... What kind of sound, May, as what was heavy suddenly became ripplingly heavy and has
that's
pulled you
another
from the
show.
rungs.
What are you doing down there?
She screams as she plummets past. You can try and grab onto
No.
Thorn. Or, well, Thorn is holding on to the man, so...
Can I try to grab onto mine?
Yes, there's this great big ball of people falling down.
Yeah.
Thorn, are you going to hold on to him when you realize what's happened?
Can I reach out instead and touch May?
Sure, you yanked him down, realize that it's pulled the whole thing down. You can try and grab her.
Okay, I just cast gaseous form on her.
All right. May, you explode into this little gas ball of stuff. Jormund, you have reached the bottom of the ladder. You can give me a wisdom saving throw, please.
I will indeed.
What is your wisdom saving throw?
My wisdom saving throw is 14.
14. Not bad. It looks as if you've landed in a rather well-appointed room of some kind. Cellar, perhaps, of this old tower. You can see several beds, a little lit fire. The air smells almost sweet. And the entire space seems very relaxed and comfortable. And then there's screaming going on up above, which seems to be getting louder as you can see this man falling through or down the shaft.
I'll sort of step into the way and brace to catch this individual.
You're going to try and catch him? All right.
I'll catch him.
You know the Superman problem. If you catch him just 1 meter away from the ground, it's not going to save him.
I'll jump in the air and I'll bend my knees as you
You're going to try. Okay, you're going to try and
Yes,
do
the
this.
elevator trick.
All right. This is D&D, so physics are not applicable. I love it. You jump.
Physics optional.
Give me an acrobatics check, if you please, with your disadvantage there.
Could I boast perhaps an athletics check?
This is about timing. This is not about physical muscle.
All right, here we go. Damn!
The 18 would have been great.
The 18 would have been fantastic. It would have been awesome, but I am grumpy, I am exhausted, I am dehydrated, and I am apparently dropping this poor boy.
Yes. He sails past Thorn, who's not trying to catch him. Ixtec, are you trying to catch this man as he sails past you?
No.
No.
I don't care.
No? All right.
No, let him fall.
3, 2.
There is a sickening crunch as he does indeed
Oh.
land at the bottom. He takes that much damage. And as he does so, there's this horrific crack sound. And he is, for all intents and purposes, at a very right angle to himself. He shouldn't have landed that way. There's a gurgling exhalation sound coming from his lungs, but that's about it. As you're sort of standing there going, I got you. And then you jumped after he landed. I mean, it was timing. It was timing.
I misjudged how big he was.
Back up.
Jormund, get the staff and climb up. It's an illusion.
Oh, there's things that now need to happen. Give me a second here.
Yeah.
Up above, we're going to go into initiative very, very shortly. I just need to bring this individual to bear. These poor guys do not know what's about to hit them.
The ground.
Close, though.
In one
They were
case, the
close.
ground.
They were
Well-
so close.
Mai's fine. She's just a little cloud of dust.
Yes,
I'm just a
May
little
isn't the
gassy.
problem. May
You know,
is not
In the
a
back of my
problem.
head, I'm imagining that the illusion is that this place is quite nice and cozy, but it's actually like a little shithole, and that's all the illusion is. It's not a trap. It's nothing. Like there's no actual fireplace. It's just to make the place look really nice, and you've just murdered this super cool dude.
I'm sticking with my thing that I wrote in the chat.
That would be funny. Not so much. All right. So
Don't give him ideas. Stop it. Stop it.
you are standing at the top. You have just thrown this man down.
Yes.
And there is a snarl and a shout. I'm going to give you a battle map shortly of these individuals. I'm just
For
about
the-
to...
For the benefit of the Twitch stream, what Janet wrote in chat was "We're in something's mouth," and I do not want that to be the case. I'd rather it wasn't.
That is already canon for me.
It's already
You're
canon?
in something's mouth. Yeah, and
The
Janet
mouth?
now being in Gazier's form, she's the bad breath.
That's not
I have never been happier than when I was gas. I think this is a new.
You can take a nap while floating.
It's a new experience for you. Yeah.
We can just waft you along. You don't even have to walk. We're just
All right.
We're
so
just going to get the fan and
we
move it
can.
around.
Does anyone have a vacuum cleaner? We can just like suck her up and then we can carry her.
That was don't do that.
One of those little handheld things, and we just kind of.
I have put you all onto the map, which I will share right now with all of you, and you'll see the layout as you. Your tokens are all on top of each other underneath May. That's why it's so
Oh,
confusing.
look at this dude's face.
I'm going
He
to
is sour as hell.
set.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's
honestly,
kind of
how could we
where
ever
he
trust
is.
him?
Right, that's kind of where he is. All right, so first up on initiative is Ixtec.
Yes.
Yes, there's a crunch that's
I'm-
happened. Thorn, May is gas.
Yes.
You know, looking at the map, the corpse of the knight might have been a tip-off.
There are corpses, everywhere in this place.
But
Ah,
yes.
yeah, you're right. I think there's a tiny black arrow stuck in him.
Yes, there is.
Lovely job.
I can't really climb past Thorn, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold my action. Is that when the ladder is clear, I'm going to climb up it
Okay,
and out of this hole.
not a problem. Caldanese is going to swear, and he, although he has that sword strapped to his side, he glares at you, and effectively he looks as if he's trying to hit you with his hand. So he swipes at you. Let me do that. He swipes at you, Nazaya.
Oh, I'm not
And-
sure these are people.
And completely misses. Completely misses. As he swipes at you, you see this black energy explode off of his fingertips and blast into the wall next to you.
Yeah. Nazaya bends away and dances slightly away from the Eldritch Blast. And, not letting them touch you. I get that.
The one who is standing next to you, he was the one with the bow. He's like, "No, this I cannot miss," he says as he fires at you.
Oh,
Go
I'm so
ahead. Go
He
ahead.
misses.
I wanted to catch that.
Oh, you can try it. You can only catch if it hits you, though, isn't it? Or
Yeah, that's right. I need to get the hit
It's a
points
reaction.
that I'd lose down to 0, and then I've caught it, and then I can throw it back.
He fires a second one.
Ooh.
Thank you, Var.
That is definitely a hit. 24.
So, how much damage would it do?
No, it does. You want me to roll the damage, and then you can mitigate.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so 8 points of damage.
Okay. So I can deflect 1d10 plus 9.
So you can deflect all of it.
Yes. So I could deflect
17.
twice. I catch the arrow, turn it around between my fingers, and throw it right back at him, and do damage like I would use a monk weapon. And I use one of my last 2 key points for that. So let's try if I hit him. Oh.
Wow, I haven't pressed these
No.
buttons so often in a game.
Oh no!
It seems to me that
Yeah, it looks very cool, but
Yeah.
it goes.
Well,
It
as long as you don't
goes
throw
entirely
the
the
arrow
wrong way.
into the shaft, you know, you're good.
Madame Legas.
Madam Flatulence.
Madame Waff.
I like to think of myself as laughing gas.
Ah,
So, as gas, I just looked it up. I can fly 10 feet.
Yes.
I can enter the space of a target and
Yes.
occupy the space of another creature.
Yes.
And I can pass through small holes, narrow openings, and cracks. I'm going up someone's nose.
Oh,
I want to
my
see
God.
what's inside these things.
Oh my
Because
god.
I think there might secretly be demons.
You can move 10 feet
So I have
around.
an hour to find out.
All right, you can move 10 feet around. So your first round is spent drifting towards the entrance of the space. I'm just going to move you out a little bit. Of course, it's
All I can
selecting-
say is if Thorn loses concentration, I'm going to re-solidify inside somebody's face.
Yes, and we'll see what happens there when that happens. So you drifting upwards towards the light.
Yes, I'm going nosewood.
Nazaya, you're up.
Ugh. Well, okay. He's probably going to get a hat full of me. I
one?
will. Var, obviously. Or at least you moved her towards him. Then I'm going to try and rearrange Cardenai's face
All right.
by going the good old hack stab 1-2.
Make your attack. This is insane.
So many crits.
So many crits.
I can't roll anything in the middle today. I'm sorry. It's just
No.
It's do or die!
All or nothing.
It's the
You could just
extremes
flip
of
a
Avernus.
coin, really. Like, you don't need dice, you just need to flip a coin.
Yep. You smack into him. That was your first attack, I believe.
yes, that was my first attack. Then I'm going to follow up.
There we go. That's still a hit.
It's still a hit.
Yeah.
Oh boy, you have bad armor.
He does.
And then follows the unarmed strike as my bonus action.
It's a hit. You just lay into poor old Caldenes, smacking him left, right, and center. Thorn?
There's nobody on the ladder in front of me now, right?
Nope.
Okay, so I just climb as fast as I can up the ladder.
All right. In one movement, you can cover the 30 feet up. Not a problem.
Okay.
Your head pokes out. You see the monk just smacking Caldenes left, right, and center. He doesn't. He's just being hit. He's trying to block, but failing miserably.
Okay, we're doing this now. Okay, Pierre, you hit that guy, and I point at. Where is Pierre?
I will
Just
bring
next-
Pierre into being. I forgot about Pierre.
Not there.
Yeah.
Pierre is
Well,
is a skeleton, right?
Yes.
All right, let's grab Pierre. For anything, he's just a
never wanna be
average
solid again.
run-of-your-mill skeleton. Poor old Pierre.
Yep.
Pierre was standing over there.
Okay, well I command him to attack Caldanus.
That's all right. He attacks. That's what he will do on his turn.
Yep. So I'm gonna, I guess, grab Caldanus's foot as well,
Right. Oh
and try and pull him into the hole.
no! All right, give me a strength check. Oh, give me an attack check first to see if we can grab his ankle because he's busy being beaten up.
Okay. Do you want me to roll onto his
Yeah.
token or? Yeah.
Oh, you grab his ankle with intent, without a doubt. Even if you didn't get the +9, you would have still hit him. So,
Yeah, sorry about
opposed,
that.
give me an athletics check as you're trying to drag him into the pit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
he tries to resist. He is not the fighter he was presenting himself as. He takes his strength. Strength is not bad. All right, here we go. I roll twice. It's the first one that's important. That's a 16 versus your 16. You start dragging him. As he screams at you. This is not on. Not great
I'm
words.
sorry.
Not great words.
Sorry about this.
Not great words. Jormund, you are in this chamber. What are you doing?
I look at the L-shaped person
Yes.
that is on the floor next to me. Is he dead?
He's dead. He's
Sort of.
What is he, Mark? Keora?
He did.
Yay!
He
He did.
he dead.
He did. Is there like a pool of blood?
At the moment, yes, it is slowly starting to seep out of him.
Is it red or black?
Red, definitely red.
Yep, that's a person that they've murdered. Okay. I have a cursory glance up the ladder, and obviously I assume I can hear the sounds of battle and
Yep.
struggle. Rather than rushing towards the sounds of this battle, I'm going to take a look around this space that I'm currently in, just to kind of see what, basically if there's anything around, like,
Okay, give me a perception
noteworthy.
check.
Yeah. Do I have disadvantage still from the exhaustion?
Are you still exhausted?
You tell me.
Yes, you are.
I
You
wanna say-
haven't had a
Damn
long
it!
rest.
I want to say no. I've stopped walking, guy. That maybe accounts.
Fine. I paused for
Dang
a
it.
moment.
Oh no!
It just
What
looks
never
like
makes
the
a
it's,
architecture.
it's very comfortable and warm and doesn't taste like anyone's excreta or dust
Lovely.
or ash or anything.
I claim this place for Yorman. I take the staff that this dude was carrying, and I almost like plant it a little bit like a flag, as I'm examining the place. I do claim this.
Give
for
me
Yorman.
another perception check.
You should have flags with you, just in case.
I should have
Should.
flags. I'll get some
Kind
made
of a
up.
country without a flag.
That is a 13.
As you plant the flag, there's a bit of a bounce to the planting. Flags don't usually bounce.
Oh no. I rush up the ladder.
Thank
You
you!
start climbing up the ladder. Okay, Pierre the Magnificent, Pierre the Undead. He's going to swipe at Caldenes.
Yeah, mon frère.
He hits
Yeah,
on a 10. I have no idea how he does that, but he does,
yeah, mon frère.
doing a whole 5 points of damage. There's more swearing coming from Caldenes. This is not how it was meant to go. Ixtec, you start climbing up the ladder. You said you were waiting for it to become clear.
Yeah, I used my last turn. Did Thorn
You get to
climb
top?
out of the hole?
Yep, absolutely. You poke your head out the top.
Yeah. Yeah, no, then I'll just sort of scramble up, and Caldenes is not down yet, right?
No, he's being battered by Nazaya and now Pierre.
Then I'm going to Ixtec looks pissed as very many bad words. And one question: does my detect magic go off when I look at him and his friend?
Yes.
Because that should still be on. Yes, it's illusion.
No, on both
No.
of them, there are various minor abjuration magics at work here. That's what you're
Right.
picking up.
I'm just gonna start shooting Eldritch Blast at him. Honestly, just
Make your
more-
attack.
Many of them, many at once. Pew pew.
You hit him.
Whee.
Flame
And then
engulfs him.
another one.
He doesn't seem to like this very much. You slamming magic into him. He's being beaten. He's being attacked by skeletons. He drops to the ground. Wait! Stop! I surrender.
Oh, he's lucky I just had my turn.
That's what he says. Var is like, no, we cannot. We must. It demands. You must die, demon. He says as he fires at you, Nazaya. And don't give them back to me! He
Doesn't want
misses with his first shot. He's got 4 arrows left, 3 arrows left, as he does hit.
Then it's a new round, right? If he's attacking me again.
Not from whence you've just hit Caldenes.
When was top of the round?
Top of the round is literally after him.
Ah,
but
okay. Yeah, it's just
looking
about
at the
whether I have a
reaction, right?
reaction again. So I should have a reaction again. So I'm going to catch the arrow.
All right. Do you
Go ahead.
automatically catch it and absorb the damage?
Yeah, that's just a reaction.
Okie dokes.
Depends on how much damage it does.
Yep, you absorb the damage. Well, he can't do more than 9.
Yeah, I can't roll lower than a 1.
Yeah.
So I absorb the damage. I just drop the arrow this time. I'm not bothering throwing it back at him.
All right. Back to top of the round. Madame Waft.
Oui. I am going up somebody's nose.
You drift inside. You drift inside. This poor man.
This is terrible.
It's a drift
I'm
to begin
hoping
with.
that he is scared,
Ugh.
It's a
but
drift.
I also want to know what's inside this thing.
Yeah, it's a drift until he takes his first inhalation. As you are sucked into his lungs.
Oh, the road.
Trivial.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I need you to give me a dexterity saving throw, please, to avoid being sneezed out.
It's the weirdest thing.
Oh
I've
my
heard.
god.
I am in there. That was a long run.
You cannot be conquered
He
by a
tries to
sneeze.
sneeze. He tries to throw up. He doesn't know what the hell is happening as this gaseous cloud is starting to fill him up.
I did with my fingers.
Yeah, thermodynamics dictates you fill up the entire space that you
Oui.
can
I'm
inside
just
his.
hanging out in there.
Yeah, this is.
Do I see the cloud going up the nose with a perception of 10?
No, you don't.
Okay, good.
Don't. Gases form. This entire area is full of gas and smoke and terror. All right, so you are slowly being diffused into his bloodstream because that's what lungs do with gas. So,
I should remain as a cloud.
Yes.
yes, you're an
According to this.
inhaled cloud.
Yeah, I just hang out as a cloud. I don't dissipate.
Yes, but you dissolve as the
No.
lungs transfer you from. I mean, you're.
Yeah, I mean, you're still
insubstantive.
particles.
Yes,
Like-
and that's what the lungs do: is they take particles from the lungs into the bloodstream.
I don't follow when exactly natural law applies.
I
in
don't
this
know
place when
either.
it
I
doesn't.
don't know either. You're
Well,
just
it
in the
doesn't
moment
take
you're in his lungs.
particles.
Are you doing anything else whilst in his lungs as a gas? I'm not sure you can.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and keep myself together. I don't want to go into this guy's bloodstream.
All right.
Oh wow.
All right.
So
Never mind then.
That's what you're doing, and I'm going to say you can concentrate sufficiently to keep yourself from being dissolved into his bloodstream for now.
This is
just hanging out.
disgusting.
Don't know
have
what
to-
you've been smoking.
we're
Don't
gonna
want to be in
have
there.
Leave
Nasiah,
this guy to get you out. This is not.
Nasiah very calmly says to Caldenes, kneel.
he kneels.
Good. But she looks to wherever Jormund or someone else with enough.
Jormund, get out of
Lordliness.
there now.
That would be Thorn or Ixtec, you guess.
Yeah,
Dormund is climbing up the
anyone
ladder.
is better at giving orders than Nasiah. Then she looks to everyone else. Now what?
Hey, hey,
The
Pierre.
other one is hawking and retching. And he
What's
doesn't know
wrong
what
with
he's doing.
him?
See, I'm distracting.
Can we roll to see if we noticed her going up his nose?
Wait, am I still holding on to his ankle?
You're holding on to the ankle of Caldenes, yes.
No, that was wrong. Sorry. That was the
Right.
wrong button. There. Perception.
Yeah, Ixtec, you would have noticed this cloud going
Yes.
in. Yeah. Yeah.
Thorn?
Thorn?
when you turn people into a cloud,
Mm-hmm.
what exactly do they turn into?
Oh,
Is it dust or is it like water droplets or what is it?
yeah, it's like a mist.
Mist. All right.
Yep.
Huh.
Why? Why'd you ask?
Nothing.
Where's
Nothing. It's fine. I'm just.
mine?
She seems just a little spread out right now. That's all.
Okay,
So
well,
nothing to
I'll
worry
drop
about.
the spell then. No worries.
No.
And then-
No. Let her. No. Thorn. No. Bad Thorn. No.
What is Thorn
I'm trying
doing?
to stop you.
Okay, I wanna.
No.
I'm just gonna roll a d20 to see if she stopped me in time.
Yes. Can I roll? I don't know.
Not your initiative yet, I'm
persuasion?
afraid, X-Tech.
Bad
No.
thorn. Bad thorn.
Okay, I listen. I go.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. What?
No, let her be. She's scouting. She's
Oh.
scouting the area. That's fine. That's
Okay.
good. Let her be.
The
Let her
area.
be.
Sure.
Yes.
Are you
I know
gonna
that area.
then?
Get your mind out the gutter.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to Caldanus and stop him from going anywhere.
All right, Jormund, you breach the surface into unique space.
Roman takes a look around. Obviously, you can see Caldaneus has surrendered, and Var is apparently spluttering and coughing. Jormund sort of very slowly puts the staff from the other guy down.
Ooh.
He sort of tries to speak, but as he does, he can just hear this coughing, and every time he goes to do it, it just continues coughing, and it annoys him. He reaches over with one hand,
Yeah.
and as he does, he casts Hold Person.
Poor old Var. No,
Oh
you're
my
setting up a nice,
Just gonna
quiet little
choke to death
ambush.
on
He
me.
has. Is it Wisdom saving throw?
That is a Wisdom saving throw.
He suddenly stops moving completely. May you become aware that there is no movement at all around you? Although, again, this is where we enter into weird magic territory, because he can still breathe, because he doesn't suffocate. But yes, it's a very weird space that you're in. You can still hear his blood pumping around you. His heartbeat, however, has increased almost double, as there doesn't seem to be any normal movement. Jormund?
Has he stopped coughing?
Yes.
Good. What is going on?
Well,
There is a man kneeling in front of Nazaya, and there's a
Nazaya
skeleton
points at the man.
about to hit him.
Oh.
I come to you now, Janet. That's what you see. Skeleton hasn't been given any counter instructions, so he smacks down upon Caldaneus. I'm going to give him advantage on that, because Caldaneus is not resisting. He did not remember the skeleton. It hits him, dealing some damage. Ah! I said I surrendered, damn it!
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, Pierre, stop. You're good. You're good.
It stops. X-Tech?
Once we're done with this one, please let me finish him. I have a grudge
Done with
at
what?
this point.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure he was about to throw us into the mouth of some horrifying creature or sacrifice us to some sort of thing down there. And I'm stupid for not having noticed it earlier. But I'm fine. We're all fine. We're all going to live, and you are going to tell us exactly what is going on here and who you are.
Nazaya shrinks back slightly from Ixtec.
Jormund will sort of, calm Ixtec.
You do not tell me to be calm right now. I am exactly as calm and in control as I need to be. And you... Right. Yes. Of course. I'm calm. I'm calm.
It was wrong for us to try. We did not know of your magnificent power. We thought you were mere fools. You are right. If you had gone and you would have been consumed, but it is merely a safety precaution.
What is it?
Spare our lives, and we will tell you everything you want to know.
Well, I
we'll
mean, we're gonna spare your 2 lives.
We're gonna spare your lives as long as you keep talking. So you'd better start getting interesting and informative very quickly, my friend.
Var can make that saving throw every turn, right?
At the end of his turn, yep.
All right. And it was a wisdom save, right?
That is correct.
As he starts to choke. Where is Mademoiselle LaRouge? What are you doing?
So my flesh creature stopped moving and then started again.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening, so I'm just gonna poke my head out of his mouth. Just a little bit of gas, then becomes my head. Just gonna poke out of his mouth and be like,
Ah!
"What's going on?"
Get out of there.
He's trying to pull...
You have eaten me?
He does not look like... If he did, he certainly doesn't look like he's enjoying it. All right, so that's what you are doing. Nazaya, you see this. It's obvious. There's this gas tendril
Having fun.
pseudopod thing.
Nazaya has no idea what's going on, but to her it looks mostly like he tried to swallow May down, and the fact that May doesn't seem bothered, well, May never seems bothered, so Nazaya
Just the head of May.
smacks him very hard with a weapon.
Make your attack.
I'm trying to drop it on Var and not on May. I think I got it.
You did, but you missed.
I got a second one, don't you worry.
So many attacks.
That's a hit.
Definitely.
And... Spit her out!
He doesn't seem to be able to talk.
And I kick him in the stomach for good measure to encourage the upchucking of half-eaten tieflings.
May, would you please give me a dexterity saving throw to remain in him as his entire body convulses?
I'm already now seeing what you do with the green screen.
I need you to give me a strength check, please. A strength saving throw.
Okay, let me. Sorry.
I'm gonna need a religion saving throw at some point. This is too much.
I cast thee out. Literal demon.
No,
Oh.
I need
It's disgusting to watch.
Oh wait, I have advantage
Why?
because I'm gas.
Okay.
What?
It's
Didn't do much
disgusting.
good, but I'm gas.
As
She's
you
so gas.
kick him in the stomach, he just retches completely, and every orifice this man owns opens, releasing May and everything else you could possibly not want, as he just sneezes up this blob of gas, which... You're incorporeal, but there's vast amounts of bile and mucus that has been... He drops to the ground, spent in the puddle of his own internal fluid. Very, very unhappy. Thorn?
I'm gonna, pick
Caldenaeus.
Caldenaeus.
up by the ankle, and I'm gonna hold him over the pit.
I am telling you everything that you want to know. You said you would let me live.
Yeah, well, go on then.
What do you want to know?
What's down there?
It is a creature that we supply with food in exchange for protection from the devils and the demons.
Yeah, don't spare me the details. What kind of creature are we talking about here?
We're not entirely sure what it is. We simply refer to it as Levia.
Okay, and how do we get out of here and go find a car?
The closest war machines you will find at... You will find them at Fort Knucklebone.
Yep, that's good information. Where's that?
From upside down, he points at the bright white light.
Okay, so not anything new then. This was pretty much a waste of time.
No,
So-
wait. You don't know anything about that area, surely?
Yep.
You know that it is a salt pan?
Oh no, I meant I don't know anything. Go on.
Ah. If you don't go prepared, you will never make it to Fort Knucklebone on foot.
Mm-hmm.
Are we out of
And,
initiative, by the way?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Yep.
Not yet. So, yes, those
Okay.
are his answers to you. Good call, Jormund. You're muted?
Yormund looks at Thorn, and as he does so, he says to the others, "We only require one guide."
Exactly.
The deal was for both of us to live. If you let us live, that's what we said and you agreed.
So if we kill one of you, you'd rather we kill you as well? To honor the deal? I thought so.
Jormund?
Yormund raises his hands. "Stay your hands. They have proof enough of our strength, and should they act against their interests, it is easy for us to dispatch them. Their services are more valuable than their lives at this present moment. However, I would stress to the two of you that that fact could change very, very quickly."
Jomund,
We're aware.
if I may, I'd say, yay. If I may, I'd say that one, and I point to the one hanging upside down over the pit, seems slightly more useful than that one, and I point to the one who's retching and spitting bile onto the ground.
You won't find a better guide than Var if you're trying to traverse through the salt plains.
Oh, really? Because I'm thinking that it would be a great boon to myself and my own powers in this place if I could have one of them. We don't need two. Two people are far more difficult to keep track of and guard than one.
Yes, but getting a reward, as it were, such as sparing the lives of him and his companion, ensures more amiable cooperation.
Fine. Let's say the second either one of them does something that does
Then
not
they are
agree
yours,
with ours.
Ixtec.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
Unless Naziah or Mai.
I
Very
promise you,
fine.
I will not waste a single part of their bodies.
Zaya is trying to lip read what Mace
The gas is
Oh,
just
no.
wafting around, agitated perhaps, or maybe it's just Brownian movement.
Oh, Thorn, could you cancel that spell, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay. I cancel it.
What spell?
May suddenly appears.
Sorry about that.
That was Thorn.
Oh, yeah, that was me.
We're out of initiative.
Yay! We
Why?
survived.
Okay.
Can I suggest then as our first act that... Wait, where's Barnack?
Dead.
I hold up the staff. He didn't
may I
make
have-
it.
Can I see that, please? Can I have a look? Can I see?
I hand it
Then
to
the beast is
Ixtec.
sated.
Thank you.
We should take cover. That storm is rapidly approaching, and he indicates again to that strange, weird storm cloud with large amounts of lightning shooting down and out of it.
Lead the way. You first.
Yes, of course. Var, we need to go. Yes, I am coming.
Oh, and just real quick, as Var sort of goes to stand, I walk Storm almost straight up to him. I grab his bow, and I literally just, with one hand, just clench it to a point where it breaks.
Nice.
Give me a
And drop it on the
strength check
ground.
with advantage.
Oh, I can do this. Bup. Oh, come now. That's a 10.
You stand there holding the bow, grimacing, your scales
Alright.
and muscles flexing
Yep.
as you try to break the bow. It's really, really, really well made.
I look at it, it's like, this is a good bow. And I keep it.
And on that note, we will be back next week once this... I don't know who's worse. My devils are sitting here going, you know, they're very good, actually. These are pretty good. Those poor little hijackers were just trying to make a sacrifice, and it all went wrong. Anyway, big shout out to our wonderful sponsors, World Anvil, worldanvil.com, where you can find this world, as well as all of the characters. Dungeon Fog for creating these awesome maps that we are in. They really are beautiful. I love looking at them. And, of course, Fantasy Grounds for giving us such extremes. Has anyone else noticed Ghost of Saltmarsh didn't have this many 20s and 1s in it? In a single session? It's
One of the
Really
many
good ones.
updates.
It's spooky. It's spooky. Anyway, until we meet again, which will be next week, same time, same place.
And in Afterlife.
Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. We will see you all. If you want to hang out with the cast and myself for the next half hour or so, join us on twitch.tv/GreatGM, where we have Afterlife, where we talk about the show after the show. And yeah, you can ask the cast your questions then. Until next week, however, thanks to D&D for giving us this awesome space to play in. Thanks to my wonderful players. And of course, thanks to all of you for being part of the show. Goodbye.